Champion has been crowned. Kentucky bests Kansas. John Calipari gets a title. Another title for Kentucky. A great, great basketball team that you probably are not going to get to see enough of. We'll talk about that. Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Vigna, joined again by J.R. Whalen.
We were just doing this.
We were just doing this yesterday, right?
I know.
So, did you watch all of last night's game?
I watched a lot of it.
I will admit I didn't watch the whole thing.
Okay.
Because it looked like Kentucky was just going to blow them out. Let's talk about this game. That is a great Kentucky team.
Well, they're a great team, and there was nothing really surprising about them last night in the sense that Kansas, they had a lead on Kansas for most of the game, and Kansas was able to cut the lead to inside 10 points at times during the game, and Kentucky, being who they are, was able to expand that lead, and then it expanded sometimes to 12, 13 points, but that's who they've been throughout the year. A great team finds a way to win, and Kentucky, this is just another example of them winning these games handily throughout the season. They have put together a 6-game winning streak to win the tournament. So in the 6 games in the tournament, they've won these games in most cases by double digits.
An impressive performance for John Calipari. Let's talk about the coach for a second. What does this do for him?
Well, it puts him in a caliber where he's taken 3 teams now to the Final Four. That's Massachusetts, Memphis, and Kentucky.
Right.
Some would argue that he's had a checkered past when it comes to past teams he's taken. That's another argument for another day. But it puts him up in a high echelon now with a very high in the atmosphere college basketball coaches.
Let's talk about what this means for college basketball. You saw a very, very good Kentucky team last night win a national title. With a lot of young kids, you're probably not going to see that team again, are you?
Probably will not see that team intact. Aside from the senior graduating, at least 1 or 2 of those players are going to entertain the idea of going to the NBA draft, and it is very likely that the freshman Anthony Davis is going to go into the draft and will be taken fairly high. And it's just the nature of college basketball. Knowing University of Kentucky, they have a very good class coming in next year, as does North Carolina, as does Louisville, as do a lot of teams. But this particular team, this powerhouse team that is so young, you're going to see these players, many of them go on to the NBA.
But let's get to the most, because we can't do this all day, let's get to the most important thing. How'd your bracket do? How'd your bracket do,
well,
J.R. Whalen?
If the brackets began last Saturday, I could run for mayor.
Really?
But instead, I got decimated very early. I had Missouri winning the whole thing. I decided to take a risk early, and I did, and I got killed early on. I had Missouri winning it all. I had my Syracuse Orange going out in the Sweet 16, which was about right. I had Duke going far, and they did not. So I didn't. This was not a good year for me.
Yeah, I didn't do well. I was doing fine with Louisville. I had Louisville winning the whole thing.
It was close.
I was doing fine until they ran into Kentucky, and just that buzzsaw and just got destroyed. They were my last chance of having any kind of score, so I went. No, I had originally Syracuse in the finals, and then when Melo got out, I quickly and I took him out. It was a mess.
Well, before Melo, I knew their offensive rebounding was suspect, and so I had them going out before the Melo issues. I had them going out in the Sweet 16.
And I had North Carolina getting the Final Four.
That's not a bad pick.
It's not a bad pick. Anyhow, we didn't do well. I hope you did better. I hope you did great. I hope you won your office pool. I hope we helped you. Hope we entertained you, because that's what this is all about, as well as the basketball games, right? All right, everyone. Thanks for watching, and who knows? Maybe we'll see you next year.